Today we are talking about the top legal strategies for business growth. Hey there, this is attorney Sarah Holmes of Holmes Business Law PC. We are a business and trademark law firm that also offers general counsel subscription services to clients. A lot of people want to grow their business, but they're not sure how. And I think they don't even realize there are some legal tips and tricks and ways to grow your business by using different vehicles that we can discuss in a legal way. So the number one way to grow your business via legal channels would be mergers and acquisitions. Now that sounds like a lot of words, but what exactly are mergers and acquisitions, or sometimes you might see it abbreviated M&A? All right, so merger is exactly like it sounds. It means that there's another company that you found that you might want to merge with such that you become one. And it may be advantageous for a business because now they have access to the company's client list, their resources, the way they do things. So them merging can cause an expansion with the underlying business that took over the company that they are now merged with. So while mergers is a way to expand your company, I would say it's less common than our next option, which is via acquisitions. Now, acquisitions is exactly like it sounds, meaning you're going to acquire another business in order to grow your underlying business. This is typically done by locating another company that you'd like to buy. So whether it's a company that's a competitor, maybe it's one that's struggling, maybe you know someone that wants to retire and is willing to sell their business, maybe you've just found a compatible business on BizBuySell. Or let's say you want to expand to another vertical. Let's say you have a business right now, maybe you're in interior design and you want to acquire a furniture store or some type of supply company so that you now have a financial incentive on both avenues within your business. You could go acquire a complementary company. Now, acquisitions can be done a number of ways. So there's something called an asset purchase where you're just buying the assets of the target company, or there's also a stock purchase, meaning you are actually buying the equity in that target company yourself and taking on the role of the former owners. Now, the stock or equity purchase comes with a bit more legal risk in that you are not just buying the assets, the good things, you're also tending to buy the liabilities of that business. So your due diligence in buying that business becomes much more important because you need to know what's hanging out there and what could be of risk to you once you become the new owner of that business. Therefore, most people, when acquiring a business, are going to do an asset sale, which is where you're just buying certain assets of that business. So whether you're buying the customer list, you're buying social media accounts, you're buying the business name, the know-how, you're just buying the good things, aka the assets of that business. So for most people, acquisitions are going to be the easiest, fastest way to grow because you're acquiring a whole other company. It's not without risk. You really have to do some good homework before you close the sale. You have to make sure you have the funding in place, and you have to have really good legal agreements in place. But it tends to be a really popular way to be able to grow your business. The next way to grow your business would be to franchise. Now, this is probably one of the more costly ways to grow your business because you have to do all the legal compliance and the legal documents to allow your business to sell franchises in various states. The thing is, various states have different franchise rules. So if you want to go sell franchises in all 50 states, you would then need to be compliant with all 50 states' franchise rules. It's the kind of thing where you may want to just start locally and sell franchises within your own state or within a handful of states that don't require you to maybe register in that state in order to sell a franchise. But whatever it is that you decide to do, franchising, you really need to get some competent legal counsel to help you franchise and set those agreements up. The benefit of franchising means that you can go to many locations without having to go and own and operate those remote locations yourself. You sell that franchise to someone else that then becomes responsible for doing those things. It also means you don't have to go put management teams into these remote places. The problem is that franchise also comes with risks because now you are selling your business concept to other people who may or may not be able to be as successful as you were with it. And when they're unsuccessful, they tend to turn around and want to sue the franchise for not giving them enough support or not helping them or having not a great franchise model or not disclosing certain things in the sale. So again, it's a risky way to do it, certainly not the cheapest way to expand, and could also be extremely time consuming to get all the proper franchise blocks in place and to get the proper documents done. You would also, before you go to franchise, need to make sure that your business is airtight, like you have your systems, your policies, your procedures, how you want each location built out. All that stuff needs to be in very good shape. Otherwise, no one is really going to want to buy a franchise that is not fully put together. The next way that you could expand your business would be consider a joint venture with someone else. Now, a joint venture could take a lot of different forms. It could, in fact, be setting up a new business entity, like a new LLC that's owned by maybe your underlying business and someone else's underlying business, and it could be for the sole purpose of trying to get new projects together. The advantageous part would be that each of you could keep your underlying businesses and keep them isolated from the risk of this new venture. The downside is that you're really taking on a business partner. So if you never had business partners before, this could be a really new legal landscape for you to navigate and comes with its own set of problems in terms of having a partner. And if you were to eventually want to split up or go your own ways, there's a really long, potentially difficult legal process to be able to unwind those things. So you got to think carefully about the long-term viability of that and whether you really want to have a partnership with someone. And then the last way to be to discover new markets. So maybe you can expand internationally. Maybe you can expand to other states. Think about that and what that might cost. Obviously, international markets is something that brings up a lot of complicated tax issues, both here and abroad. So if it's just a matter of expanding to other states, you just have to look at what those states' regulations are for your type of business and see if that's an easy way to do it, a difficult way to do it, and then consult proper legal and tax professionals to help you expand that way. So I hope you enjoyed our top legal tips for expansion. If you have any questions about expanding your business or need help with any of these legal techniques, feel free to reach out to our office. Our number is 215-482-0285. Thanks.